following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, Deceive Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Alrighty, hello everybody out there, it's your boys. AJ Orsini is back here with another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, episode 324, and do not let that question mark fool you. He's back. He's here. Are you with us, Dave?
Yes, we are. Forgot how these microphones work. It's been so long. Oh my god.
He's back.
Thank God. Yes, and finally not in a bathroom, boys. We're out here. We got our own place now. Oh yeah, we're living the dream here.
Well,
I'm pretty pumped.
we didn't talk too much about your personal situation up until this week, so I think you and I are on the even keel, and we don't have to talk about it here. But the overall consensus is that the reason why you were not here last week is because of what you just said. You got the new digs.
Yeah,
The
new place, man. Moved in.
Oh boy, look at that! A new Casa del Deception. To sit here,
Indubitably.
to sit there and do your bidding. So now you got all kinds of space to do.
Space.
See, you have all kinds of space.
I'm not sweating. Dude, it was humid as fuck in there, dude. I think I lost 10 pounds per pod. It was gnarly. But we're out of here. We're back in a better situation. We straight.
All right, there you go.
And I'm ready to fucking talk some shit, man.
You got so much room to do activities now.
That's it. You're damn right. I'm gonna do lots of them, too.
And he's fired up, folks. Trust me. We've got some topics here that he's ready to go off and pop off and be the master of deception that he is. So I'm glad to have you back.
Wordplay.
I had to go solo last week.
You went dolo, huh?
Yeah, the Dolo show. Went old school with it, which is ironic. Because I want to start off the show here at the top. If you have not, we're recording this as promised. I said this on the show last week that we would be preempted this week, that you would be able to do the show on Thursday. I didn't give the reason why. We just gave it. The reason why is because of the big move. You've been in and out and doing things all week. So you haven't had a chance, but today is the day we're here, we're doing the show. But we have a quick turnaround because our normal recording time is on Tuesday, and this Tuesday, if you haven't seen it on social media already, I'll explain it more here. This Tuesday, October 7th, 8 p.m., we're live. It's going to be the 8th anniversary show, 8 years of OUM. It's going to be a fun time. You know how this goes, folks. It'll be me. It'll be Dave. It'll be an assortment of our friends. We'll be having laughs, fun times, talking about the wrestling, talking about some other topics that I would love to get the guest opinions on. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to congregate. You guys should join us Tuesday, October 7th, 8 p.m. It's 8 years of OUM, but I don't think that you're aware. This is technically your 5th anniversary on the show.
No,
Yeah.
we haven't done this shit for 5 years.
Well,
There's no fucking way.
Remember, we took like a year off, though. Remember, it
That's
was like
still, though.
a year and change.
Oh, okay. So for active, that is what you're saying.
I guess around that time, right? Because you
Fair enough.
started
Gotcha.
you started full time on the 3rd anniversary show.
That's crazy.
So now we're doing 8. We did take some time off in the middle for the personal reasons that we discussed before, but it has been 8 years since the start of the show, which would be October 11th, 2017. My son was 2 years old. And if you listen to the show, especially the ending of the shows, you can kind of hear my son grow up on the show little by little. Every stage of his vocabulary, we did a little something extra, and now we're at a point where my son is opening every show. So yeah, it's a really exciting time. I got a lot of paperwork and stuff that I need to finish up, but I will be all done by the end of this weekend. By the way, this weekend I will be completely unreachable on Saturday because I will be taking my lovely wife to the infamous Carnegie Hall, and we will be serenaded. We will be romanticized by an orchestra who will be playing wonderful music. See, we're mature individuals now. We like refined music. So we're gonna go to
shit.
yeah, we're going to
You let the tenants rest before you drink the wine?
Oh yes, and don't sleep on the Gouda. Never sleep on the Gouda. Yeah, exactly. But we're going to Carnegie Hall to listen to an orchestra. They're gonna parade us around. And
a specific one, or
yes, one that will be playing Marvel music all night.
Oh, dude, that's fire! Dude.
They're gonna be playing. All of the MCU films from the Infinity Saga will be. Probably some outside of the Infinity Saga as well. But we're gonna be listening to the orchestra versions of those soundtracks. This is such a dude thing. But my wife is going because she's the coolest wife on planet Earth. She was like, "Oh no, we're definitely doing this." I'm like, "I'm liking your energy. Let's keep this going."
I'll tell you what. You saying that just triggered a thought. I've always said she was the perfect companion for you because you're someone who likes what you likes, and she likes that you like what you like.
Even if she doesn't like
you know
it.
what I mean? No, but that's the thing. Like, she likes it because you like it.
Right.
So it's like, it just work. It's like work. It sounds kind of toxic if you're outside of it.
It's almost Stockholm syndrome-ish.
She has her shit too, but I think she truly just enjoys the fact that you enjoy shit, and she still enjoys. It's not like she's going, "Oh, here we go." Like, she's probably gassed on it too because she knows how hyped you are.
Well, no, she's also hyped. We've actually been in the car ride going to work, going over which ones we want to hear.
Fire.
So she's been getting. She definitely said the one that she wants to hear the most is the Black Panther one. Boom, 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 boom.
Dude, orchestras are so great.
Oh my God, it's such good music, such good music. Yes, so we will be in incognito this past weekend.
Dream of mine to go to Distant Worlds, which is like the Final Fantasy orchestra. I just never got a chance to go. They don't tour as much, but they do tour. So that's still on my bucket list. It's not. I don't think it's. Yeah, I still got a chance.
I got a chance.
I still have a chance to hear One Winged Angel live orchestra.
Oh.
But the thing with Distant Worlds is they do, depending on where they're going, they have a different set list. So they play different genres or different Final Fantasy sets. So if you get lucky and the stars align, you get your favorite Final Fantasy set orchestra. That's a dream of mine, dude. So I'm with you. That sounds fire.
I kind of like that because then you're not entirely sure. So what happens when you hear the song that you're waiting for, you pop extra hard for it. You're like, God. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, man. It was like when we went to WrestleMania and you made that list in your head of themes that you wanted to hear, and then it opened with Rhea, and you were just like, yes. That is fucking awesome. So we do have a lot that we need to get to here today. There's some stuff that's been going down all week. Let's talk about what's going to be on the show today.
Come on, don't keep us waiting. What's going to happen on the show today?
What we're going to do today is we're going to get caught up on some lost time. My brother was not able to be here last week, but I'm sure he's got some thoughts and opinions, especially on Wrestlepalooza. We sat down last week, went down a lot of the ESPN stuff, a lot of the match stuff involving the pay-per-view. We did not get a chance to hear from Dave on that, so he will catch us up on what his thoughts were on that pay-per-view. He sat down and watched it. I don't want him to feel like he watched it for no reason, so we're going back. Just briefly for him to get his shit off. Also during that segment, the last time we took in the audience's participation into the show, Dave had made a great point in stating that he wishes that we had gotten, when we did TikTok comments, you had made a comment about
No pun intended.
Yeah, you had made your own comment about possibly getting to them a little quicker, a little sooner, so that you can kind of get a hand, make it feel more recent on some of the stuff that we've been releasing. So I got a few of those here for us that we can comment on. There's a couple questions we can answer. That'll be a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that. We'll catch up on some lost time. Another segment we'll have on the show here is there has been a lot of talk, a lot of conversation. And I don't normally hit the trends, but this one right here is so hilarious. We've got to talk about it. Bad Bunny.
Oh my God! That's
Former WWE superstar.
Favorite wrestler of all time. Yeah, go ahead. I'm not being sarcastic here. Greatest intro for me of all time.
Probably it's right up there. Well, he's gonna bring that energy. He's gonna bring that flavor to the biggest show in American history, the Super Bowl, this coming season. He will be the halftime show. There is a ton of conversation wrapped around that. All of it goofy, but we're going to break it all down here. We're going to break it all down here. Also, NXT, I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because I kind of wanted to save it for you. I didn't want to do it last week, so I gave you the video to watch. NXT Homecoming took place. We got a chance to see some flashes of the past, a little bit of the present, but we have to ask the question. Because in previous episodes, long time ago, I made this crazy, at the time it blew people's minds, that I didn't consider NXT a brand. Despite how successful Black and Gold was, I never considered it a brand. It was always developmental. I feel that now more than ever. But the question now we have to answer is it an effective developmental? We'll get to that just a little bit here on the show. And of course, our main event. Once again, we have to give our main event to the Saudi Arabian government, as they made a coup. They made the deal of a lifetime. WrestleMania was bought and paid for, and now Electronic Arts, EA Sports, it's in Saudi Arabia now. And that's what we're gonna be discussing here on the show. Million ways to go, lots of opinions to give. Let's not keep the people waiting. Let's give them what they want. Let's get balls deep into all this shit. Let's get into seg one.
Let's begin segment one.
We're going back in the past. We're gonna take a minute and dig back into our debut with our debut, like I'm on the payroll, WWE's debut onto the big show, or excuse me, the big platform of ESPN. Bro,
fire.
First thing,
Absolutely fire.
What's fire? Are you talking about the show was fire?
Is that whole thing, the ESPN debut?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, all of it was good. The energy, the weight, yeah, it was good, dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I got excited. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, I was just setting you up here. First, I could tell by your voice you didn't hear my comments on it last week, which is fine, which is perfect. So, as far as did you see it Saturday that it happened, or did you see it like the next day, or?
I'm pretty sure I'm trying to remember, man. So much happened. I think I'm pretty sure I watched it. No, I watched it the next day.
Okay.
I watched it the next day because I remember I asked you for the code.
Right.
And I believe that was the following day.
But wait. Ixnay on the passport sharing. Hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yes, so you got a chance to see it on Sunday. So you didn't have a lot of connectivity issues then. You just it didn't glitch on you at all?
Was there an issue?
Oh, Saturday was an issue, and here's what I said last week. I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, but it is to continue the conversation. I didn't get to it live. I got to it live, but not at the beginning. The pay-per-view I think started like around 7 or 8 or some shit like that. I was out. Remember, I told you I was out with Alex and his friend or whatever. We didn't get back till like 9-ish or whatever. So the pay-per-view was still on, but I caught it from the beginning. And it was glitch mode 3000. It was tough. Those first few minutes were just really like fucking.
Just from numbers?
See, that's
You
the
think?
thing. It's a weird thing because ESPN. This happened when we first got the WWE Network. It was glitchy. When it went to Peacock, same thing happened. It was glitchy, but both times they got it figured out. ESPN glitchy. The next pay-per-view is Crown Jewel. I don't predict it will be glitchy again, but for whatever reason, they bought this property because they knew it was popular. And for whatever reason, whenever we start streaming on these new platforms, they're not prepared for how popular it is. Everyone starts logging in and it starts lagging up. It didn't last forever. It wasn't to an annoying point, but it started off rough. Which brings me to my question to you. When the glitch part for me happened during the opening package, which I really wanted to fucking see. What were your thoughts on that opening package, that combination with ESPN and WWE?
I mean, do we want to jump straight to the controversial part, or do we want the overall package?
I know what part you're thinking of, and we haven't discussed this already, but you're talking about the Vince McMahon pop. I know that you...
Right. So real quick before we get to that, because I don't want to drag it. But no, I thought it felt... I'm actually curious on how you felt from what I'm going to say, because it felt pretty cool.
Okay.
Like, let's remove the bullshit for a second. This was the vision from very beginning, and they told that story in that opening package. And obviously, I'm not I can't attach myself to all of those moments, but even I was like, damn, dude, this was a journey, a ride. Like,
yeah.
This is nuts. Like, we're here right now. This is kind of crazy. So that's how I felt about it. And then even to the point, and I think, I don't know how to express this, but even to the point where when we did see the thing we were talking about, the Vince McMahon, to the point where I didn't care, because I feel like what's happening right now, it was bigger than that. And I didn't want that to kind of take it. Now, I know people do that all the time, and they allow that to take away from it. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't want that to take away from what the hell was happening. We were weaving videos of historical sports with the WWE, and it looked great. Like, it was just, I don't know. When I kind of got chills a little bit now talking about it again, like rethinking about it, dude. It was just nuts, the journey and all the blood that was shed to get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just at this level on ESPN, on actual sports network, and have them weaving sports anchors talking about sports, and like this kind of becoming a reality. I don't know. I just felt like the thing that was happening was just so much bigger than the bullshit. And I know that's might be a little controversial to say, but that's just kind of like where I stand and how I look at things. So I loved it. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it goes under the radar even with the most hardcore fans, but WWE has spent almost its entire existence under this version of Vince McMahon with a connection to ESPN for years. You see the Attitude Era commercials that they did. You see the 70s and the 80s matches that aired on ESPN. A lot of people may not know this. In the New York area, you may know this, but not only ESPN, but the New York Post, the New York Times, they used to report on WWE events. So you used to be able to see match cards and stuff in the paper. They've had relationships through these people for forever. And you know, I think this was a wonderful video. I think it showcased a lot of its history and what's to come. But we got to take a step back just for a second. And yes, the Vince McMahon pop, which I thought, Jesus, if you're anti-Vince McMahon, and there's a lot of people that are, if you're anti-Vince McMahon, that is not what you wanted to hear at the pay-per-view. The fact that these people popped and were excited to see that clip. There's something there, and if I'm Vince McMahon, I am at home just punching air, because it's just like, I just want to go back to work. Just let me
look. See, they still love me.
Yes,
it's okay.
They still love me. They want me there. Why can't I do this? This is crazy. He's got to be all purple-lipped and raisined up and just mad as fuck. Just Jesus Christ. Now, I asked the question last week, because I also talked about Stephanie's induction to the Hall of Fame, which we'll get to you in this. I'm going to ask you that in a second when we get there. But one of the questions that I had that I posed to people is, ever since his controversy, he hasn't not only been on the television in person, but he hasn't even really been mentioned on the television in forever, not even for Hogan. And he was pissed that he was not asked to be there for the Hogan deal. You gotta assume he's gonna be there for Steph's thing. You would almost assume that he kind of has to be there for the Steph thing.
No, you know what? I'm gonna take it to a different place when you say that.
Okay.
And where I'm gonna take it is because this is what as I sat on it, and I'm glad you're saying what you're saying. If he's there for Steph's thing,
right?
I predict he is on the road to beating this case. Because I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that they were trying to stay far away from this situation as possible. So
yeah.
That image was a litmus test.
Uh-huh.
I honestly believe it was. And if he is in the first, it was first with Triple H mentioning him during the last Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And it was them showing his face.
Uh-huh.
And if he's there with Stephanie, I'm telling you, that case is going a lot better for him than you think it is. Because if he was really under fire with that right now, they would not be doing this.
They wouldn't be touching it at all.
I think there's this reason to it. Same thing with Brock Lesnar coming back. I think there's reason to believe he is beating this case. And if he beats this case, I don't know to what degree. But he will be very involved. And if you don't think he's not going to be abusing this for TV, you're fucking crazy.
I know that he's just got to be frustrated. He's
got scripts written on the wall. He's ready to go.
Oh yeah, he's got tally marks on his walls like a prison, like a jail.
Absolutely,
just waiting for the day. He's gonna die in that chair, 100%.
So was there like a outcry like in the street? Did your ear was to the streets? Did you hear anything crazy
about the Vince McMahon pop? No, there was a lot of people that acknowledged that they heard it, but it wasn't like expanded on. It wasn't like, it was more or less like something that people just observed. I think the one time that they did it, I don't think would be a tremendous issue for people. If it becomes, like you said, like a constant pattern that's developing, and it starts to feel like they're taking risks by involving him for a good reason, then yeah, you might start seeing more of an outcry for sure. But yeah, so so the Vince McMahon pop definitely was an entire whole ass thing. But then we get to the actual show, and brother, what did I tell you about pettiness? Didn't we have this conversation? Petty. Look at your opening match here. So I gotta ask you though, because this is what we're doing. We're here to catch up on the lost time. I gotta ask you. I told you this was going to be the opening match. For obvious reasons, it was the opening match. But what did you think of the match?
I felt like it was okay. So two things was in my head originally when I saw it. First, that you called it that they were first, so that wasn't, I guess, too much of a surprise per se, but I was like, oh, okay, he called it. And then secondly, that you made mention before that this has to be a John Cena paced match, and I don't think it was.
No, I said if Brock's winning, it's under 10 minutes. I didn't say how the match would go, which is what I said last week, because I didn't know how that match would go, but I figured if Lesnar was going to win, it would be under 10 minutes, which it was. It was an 8-minute match. If it was going to be a John Cena win, then it needed to be a John Cena match, and now you're looking more into in between the 10 and 15-minute mark. And now that we know that John didn't win, it was what it was. But that type of match that they had, I didn't see coming. I didn't see that happening.
I thought it was freaking awesome.
You thought it was awesome?
I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't a slow. Okay, now you made me feel like I'm not fucking remembering it correctly. It wasn't like a slow. I didn't feel like it was a slow John Cena match. I felt like Brock kind of controlled it.
It was a Brock Lesnar match.
Right, and he beat the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of took me is, I believe we were talking before about, he wasn't gonna, he was gonna win out until the end, and then it was just such a decisive win.
I think that's what people got the most pissed about. This
was a very traditional Brock Lesnar comeback, beat your ass type of match on a John Cena victory tour.
Yes,
which I'm not mad at it.
Oh, okay.
I think this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why some people might be pissed about it.
I was pissed about it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was pissed about it. Not you nailed all of it about it being a more traditional, this is the way that they build Brock. He's a fighter, he's a badass, he's, as Paul Heyman says, the last ass kicker in WWE. I get all that. Brock should be dominant. I understand that. But 9 times out of 10, when you have a dominant Brock, it's to build somebody up. We're not building John. He's on his way out. And that means that we're building him for someone else. For who? Because the match that everybody has been asking for years, the dream match, which is the match I'm pretty sure we're going to get, is Lesnar and Gunther. And I don't think you need Lesnar to burn through a John Cena to get him ready or get him more heat for a Gunther. So I don't know what that match serves. It's not like someone's going to walk away from that and go, oh yeah, Lesnar's dominant, as if nobody already knew that. I heard one person since last week's episode, he tried to make sense of it. He goes, well, it makes sense that Lesnar would go to the ring and dominate John Cena because it's the first match that you're seeing on ESPN. And if you're an ESPN user, you probably don't watch a lot of wrestling, but you know Lesnar from UFC. So you would assume that Lesnar would go in there and murder anybody that he's in there with.
I don't like that perspective.
I don't like that perspective either because it still doesn't make sense to the idea that you really
doesn't drive the product. I understand it drives the network, right? But it doesn't drive the product on the network. I don't like that narrative.
Also, you're basically saying those people are stupid because what person who does know Brock Lesnar from UFC doesn't already know that he's the former WWE guy and that WWE stuff is different from the UFC. When he was in the UFC, they kept saying he's the WWE guy. So everybody knows he's a former. It doesn't ring anybody's bells. It doesn't do anything for anybody. It was a dominant, strong win, okay, but he's had those types of strong wins 1,000 times in the past. So I don't know. Me personally, it didn't do anything for me. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
That's all that matters.
I don't have a problem with it. I actually liked that it wasn't a John Cena pace match as we thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And I kind of said that I kind of ironically made a joke that Brock Lesnar was going to come in and kind of steal the momentum from the run or end it. And I feel like that's kind of like what happened a little bit. So I'm going to pretend that I made that call and pat myself on.
And then there it is. Well, there's no retaliation coming because in October in Australia at Crown Jewel, Cena's got AJ Styles, so that's not even going to be a thing for us to. We're not even going to see the comeuppance. So there's nothing that's going to come from that. He just beat the shit out of John Cena and then went about his goddamn business. So we'll see what happens with Lesnar. Vision Usos, the tag team match. What did you think?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was all right.
That's the theme of this, Dave. We're trying to get, as we continue through. I can't give my perspective. I gave it last week, so it's
fair enough.
It's the show. No, it's the Dave show right now.
It was all right, man. It was all right.
Did you see the Jey Uso spot?
I will tell you. It was my takeaway from this was I watched the whole match, dude. I promise you that I don't have a lot of memories of a lot of this shit, dude. This week was that bad to me. But what I can tell you that I did really like the fact that it just seeing him next to his brother, it did look different. He definitely looked like, as he probably should. I mean, he held the belt, right? I really liked the way Jay looked like a superstar here and not just like a part of the Usos. It just seemed like two individuals as a team as opposed to like that being their like identity and stuff like that. I know that ain't really much from the match, but that was my freaking takeaway from it.
No, but it's a good takeaway. Yeah, it's a good takeaway because that's the point, right? You would think Yet of all the effort and time they put into getting him over, that it worked. Because now putting them back in the team doesn't really look like it fits. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't for a set of twins that are in a tag team to have progressed so far in your career that it doesn't feel right for him to be in that tag team anymore is a plus. It's good. You've managed to create a star, which was the idea from the word go. So that's good. Did you see the chair spot?
I'm trying to remember it. Explain it really quick.
It was Jay Uso's got a steel chair in his hand. Braun Breaker's he took a shot to the gut, so he's selling forward and exposing his back. And Jay Uso wallops this dude so goddamn hard with the chair. It bounces off of Braun and hits Jay right in his fucking face.
Thank you for explaining that, because I tried to figure out where he got busted. So I don't know if
okay. So
you switched. I don't know if I just didn't I'm stupid and I didn't see it. I feel like it happened so fast. I was like, where? And I'm pretty sure I rewound it as well. Just like, why is he cracked? Like, did he cut? Like, what happened?
Not just cut, but a concussion, bro. It was bad.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, he walloped himself.
Fuck yeah, he cracked his face. So he was definitely bleeding. I was like, that's what I was saying to him. I was like, he hit him with the chair. Well, how is he busted? I don't understand what's going on.
Reversal.
Dude, these camera angles these dudes are quick.
He's bleeding in HD.
That's crazy. But yeah. Okay, concussed. That's crazy.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. I
would say get some sleep, but that's something you don't diagnose to someone who's concussed, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite you want. Yeah, or at least not until you've been checked out, and then they can safely green light. Try to get some rest. Yeah. You don't want to fall asleep immediately after getting walloped in the head with a metal chair. Stephanie Vacour and Io Sky for the women's world title.
I love Stephanie. Dude.
Oh, she's awesome.
I do. I love Stephanie.
Spiral tap for the finish. Yes.
It was so good. She does it so good. I hope this isn't too soon. And
I called this one too. I said this was it. Pull the trigger.
And the only reason why I say that is because they were just being, in the past couple months, they're just wishy-washy. I don't know what the best word to use for it, but it was like some nights they seem like they're all in on her, and then sometimes it just felt like you didn't see her, and it's just kind of weird. Like I didn't see like a consistent story build up. I know I heard what happened with the belt being dropped and stuff like that, so now we put them together. I thought this would have been a great time to show a lot of her skills in this match, give it to Io, and then maybe have them go. Even if Io dropped it to her, just having this real go at it before actually picking up the belt. But I like her so much that I'm not gonna say that this was too soon. I just hope they handle it well and they just put her in the right position. It's obvious her being in the ring with the top stars, that's where she belongs. So let's just make sure they just develop her and keep her on the right track. I don't want to see what I know people love her. What I personally feel is happening with Tiffany to happen to her. So we'll see what happens.
Thoughts on this? Of the 5 matches, you said earlier, hey, what's the scuttlebutt? You got your ear to the ground. What's all the hubbub? Big portion of the audience thought this was match of the night. This match right here.
Io and
Stephanie.
Stephanie?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody was sold that this was it. This was the one.
I can't. It's hard to argue that.
Okay.
It's hard to argue that.
Well, the other,
as you jog my memory a little bit more here, I'll let you know. But it's hard to argue that.
Well, the other contender for match of the night from a lot of people, the mixed tag team match: CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch.
No, who the fuck said this was match of the night?
Quite a few people said this was match of the night. I disagreed.
No,
I thought the girls were the match of the night.
That's no. There is no disagree here. Okay, let me just stop you immediately. Let's get past this as fast as we fucking can.
You didn't like this match, huh?
No, stop it. Stop. If you are saying, anyone out there listening, and you can leave whatever comment in the bottom in the comments about how stupid I sound, that's perfectly fine, because I know the truth is that if you think this match was even good, let alone match of the fucking night. You are so starstruck by little petite women. It's unbelievable. Okay. First of all, both men completely sandbag this shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is a complete sandbag. This is this is a couple's date, and the men aren't being men. They didn't meet each other, and they're just like grunting and they're like nodding to be cordial because their wives are hot and they don't care about the other person. They're just there for their wives. Okay, that's what that felt like between those two. And as far as the women go, Becky was fine. Becky was Becky. She did what she does.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ, listen, I'm not going to come on here and shit on her because I don't know her. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure what she did in the past was magical, right?
Okay.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that she's probably 5 foot nothing, petite, and good looking. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that.
A Puerto Rican from New Jersey. I'm interested.
And it has everything to do with her athletic ability, her storytelling, and all that wrestling stuff. I promise you that's probably what it is. But it's nostalgia. And it's not her fault. It's not anyone's fault here. And she signed a contract for some time. So is it gonna, is she gonna improve as she gets more reps and stuff like that? It was a mixed tag. They do this for a reason. She get her sea legs back or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Just get in the ring, get comfortable. We'll build on it and start to come back and everything will feel natural. She moves great when she's not wrestling, storytelling, stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. But the match itself was so fucking boring. I could not wait for it to finish. And when she finally got in the ring, that double leg takedown that I said looked good, that was the only thing I think she did that to me was like, oh, okay. Once she did that the first time, it was a wrap for me. It it felt so dull. It felt like Becky was kind of like wrestling herself. Like sometimes it's like you can tell when one person's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And again, this isn't a comment to her ability. She's been out for a while, so that's perfectly fine. But man, Brock Lesnar's been out for a little while, and he looked pretty good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's not a fair comparison.
Listen, but he's been in and out as well, and there have other wrestlers have been in and out and come back, and it has looked different. Mm-hmm. So I know this sounds like I'm killing her. I'm not. But what I'm saying from someone who doesn't know her, and maybe this is unfair because this isn't the AJ that everyone loves, this shit was so overblown. Like, I thought I was about to see the most epic shit in the ring based on how everyone was fucking acting. And it was so disappointing to me that I think to me it was worse than what it actually was because of the way everyone was making this shit sound like this was going to be hot fire. So that's my
high bar.
That shit was trash.
I'm not gonna obviously go through. You can listen to my review of it last week, folks. I'm not gonna get into it, but I kind of want to get a thought from you on what I said about the match. The official time for this match was 29 minutes 18 seconds, and
which is fair.
Okay, but for someone who's coming off of 10 years of not doing this, that's way too fucking long. And I think it exposed everybody because they ran out of ideas after a while, and you just start seeing they had a good start planned, they had a good end plan, and in the middle is just stuff just happening.
Yep. And I'm glad you said that because I'm going to shoot her some bail. That's their fault.
Yes,
that's their fault. They did not pace this properly. They did not cover for her properly. They did not put her in the right position to look really good. 29 minutes. For the amount of energy that people really wanted to see this match and the superstars that were in the match, there's no reason why it couldn't go 29 minutes. There's no reason why it couldn't round it up to a 30 minutes. None at all. Even with the same circumstances, there's no reason. But like I told you, I felt like the other two were sandbagging. Like it just did not feel like a high performance between the two guys. It was almost as if they were trying not to take the spotlight from the ladies, which is weird because you don't want it on her right now. You want the atmosphere that she's bringing, but
Yeah.
you don't want the pressure on her. And I think they put too much pressure on her. So, like I said, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to kill her, but
Yeah. I get
they
it.
deflated the fuck out of me. It was way too much energy for what I got personally.
Okay.
So whatever.
Well,
You can kill me
speaking
if you want.
speaking of too much energy, I think this next one goes in the opposite direction. Cody and Drew for the WWE title. What were your thoughts on that one? Yeah. Remember what I said in the preview of it? How this is as cold as either of them have been in a long, long fucking time. And I didn't care about this match at all. I was highly upset when this shit went on last. I was like, you guys are fucking bugging. I was like, oh.
These are and you know what? I'm starting to think Drew might be the problem here.
Uh-oh.
Because what I'm about to say, and I don't like saying that because I like Drew a lot, and if anything, I want the problem to be I want it to be Cody Rhodes. I want Cody to be the problem here. But the issue I have is that didn't we say who did we say not too long ago that the chemistry and Drew was involved just wasn't good and we did not want to see them together anymore? Who the hell was it?
That Drew was wrestling?
No. It wasn't Seth, was it? Actually, it might have been Seth. Where it was just like, dude, their chemistry is just so bad. And
Wait. Seth
it's
and
just
who? What are you talking about?
Drew McIntyre
Oh, Drew. Okay.
has done a program with someone. I
Yes.
can't remember. I think
I
it's
thought it was
Seth.
Priest.
Priest.
Wasn't
Thank
it
you.
Priest?
Yes.
It was
You
Priest,
yes.
right? They had
It was
similar
Priest.
styles, so we were like,
Yes.
okay, we're good.
And you were like, I never want to see this shit again.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And my take on that was, it really feels like it's the chemistry between the two. And again, as I kind of feel the same way. It's weird. I don't want to preemptively say that it's it's on Drew, but I don't know.
It's kind of on Drew.
I don't know. I wonder what your take is on that, but it's just something that I've kind of realized.
I just think
I
that
don't want to put that on him, but it's just hard.
I just think they're all, especially in situations like this, they're all victims to the style. The style is, unless you have something unique that you do within that style, they all look the same. It's cookie cutter matches. It just is. And they're not a lot of wiggle room for the kind of creativity that I think either one of them could really do. And I'm referring to Cody and for Drew. So this match is what it is. It's a raw main event that could be used. I was just going to say could be used to further the storyline, but the way that this match ended, is there more to the storyline? I don't even know. So it just kind of was what it was, I guess.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. There you go.
It just is what it is. It is what it is, and it was what it was.
So let me real quick, before we end this segment, get to these comments real quick. These TikTok, and I got two this time.
You're gonna get us killed early, huh? All right, let's go.
No, wait, but hold on now. Last time we just did TikTok. This time it's TikTok and YouTube. I grabbed from YouTube as well.
Okay.
So I didn't grab a whole bunch. I grabbed a few that I thought were basically worth talking about. Because one of there will be comments like on one of the shorts, we had a comment from someone that said, "Hey, I've seen a few of these clips. Where is the full version?" Right. So I just link them to the full version, or it's stuff like that, where it's just like, "Oh, I agree," or whatever the fuck. It just is nothing. So I grabbed some of the ones here. The first one, there was a comment. I need this to be the first one because it's fucking hilarious. Because we know the person who commented. It has a picture of you on it, but it's when you gave me the impossible trivia question. Who was the ECW guy into the WWE guy into the whatever the fuck? And I nailed it, and we did it so quick it fit into a short. Everything that you and I did was like under a minute, so it fit into the short. And the comment was Pombo. It was Joe Pombo. He wrote, "Can't stump AJ." Fucking guy. I thought that was funny. A lot of the comments that we have here are from the Untitled Super Show stuff. So like I have a short here that we were talking about bringing back the Punjabi prison match. And there was a comment there, Kaiser 89 writes, "That's a hard no. Even Jinder was like, that match was trash, LOL." For the Punjabi prison. Dave Knows was making a comment about, this clip was about Julia as the U.S. champion. We were talking about how she was being used, how for a split second, we had to try and sit there and remember who the U.S. champion even was. Zachary Arnold commented on TikTok. He wrote, "She's a good wrestler, so I don't mind." And I chose that comment specifically for that, where it says she's a good wrestler, so I don't mind. And it goes to my point, and we'll talk about this more later on another topic, but being a good wrestler is not enough. They're all good wrestlers.
Okay, but let me argue against you right now because
Okay.
And you're gonna know where I'm going with this, because that was my original problem with you when we were talking about Io fucking Sky.
Right.
And I got killed for that. But here's the thing. She's making me a fucking believer. Because I don't give a fuck what this lady says on the microphone. Get in the ring. It's fucking poetry every time. So I agree with you. This is a level where you got to do more than wrestle. But when you wrestle like Io,
Well,
you might be able to fucking do something. So
I'm into this current storyline with the Japanese women all getting at each other's throats right now. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because Crown Jewel just got a whole lot more interesting. But yeah, so that came up there. One of the clips when we were talking about Raja Jackson. And we were talking about legal controversy about about the whole deal. This was the one clip that I took where it just says, "I agree." But the reason why I took this particular one, it was the first one that I saw. And when I started going through other clips, especially revolving around this topic, there were a lot of people that were kind of on board with what we were trying to say. So I didn't want to be repetitive, but there was a lot of people who were kind of going through it. One of our Game Changers clips, when we were talking about Pac-Man's legacy, John JT, the voice of Retro. I know this guy, actually. I met him at one of the shows in Connecticut. He wrote, "Forever a game changer. I once made it to 250K points, and I've never gotten higher since." And he put the laugh emoji. Yeah, I think everybody has a Pac-Man story. At some point in time, they played Pac-Man and kicked a whole lot of ass. So and it stuck with him. So that's good, too. Another clip. This is all TikTok. I think we're coming to the end, actually. This might be the last TikTok. Not one more TikTok. We were talking about match types. We were talking about Albert's topic. And one of the clips that I put up involved him wanting them to bring back Raw Roulette and blank on a pole. This one had a bunch of comments, so I'm going to read them real quick because a lot of them were pitching match ideas.
Okay.
But there's one in particular that I want to comment on it. Not to be mean or rude or anything. I just want to explain it. So one of them put Buried Alive, which is a difficult match to bring back with no Undertaker. But I digress. 3 Stages of Hell, which I thought was a pretty cool concept at the time, but you need the right people to do that. Then there's one that wrote, "Does TNA still have the Lethal Lockdown match?" Which I commented there, and I'll share that here. They don't. They should. I like Lethal Lockdown. It was a good premise to a match. It was like a smaller War Games. It was weird. But it was, for them, it was good. Especially now with the new talent they have, it would work. Then there's this. Noah Ray. He wrote, they literally just, because one of the things here was blank on a pole. He wrote, they literally just had a flag on a pole match in NXT, Tavion Heights versus Ethan Page. Now, this is not to put anybody down. And I commented on the actual comment. I responded with this. This is what I wrote in response. I wrote, "Apologies. We don't follow NXT, so we didn't know that it just happened." And that's where I left it, because that's another thing. I watch about as much wrestling as anybody that I know, and NXT is included in that. But I will admit I don't watch the weekly program of NXT. So I looked this one up, the one that he mentioned about the flag match, literally just happened like a few weeks ago. So there was no shot. I had not seen that. But to our point, we were excited to have the match concept come back. So I will watch that match at some point because I want to watch a flag on a pole match.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that it happened already. So grace us, please, in the comments. We did you did a question concerning ECW. I called it the history of ECW because of whatever it was that you were asking in the trivia. But somebody, Patrick Starr, with a picture of actual Patrick Starr, he wrote a question for us. He wrote, "What was the founding name of the WWE?" Which is a very, very good question, and it would have fit into your vibe from the questions that you had asked because it's kind of a trick question. So a lot of people automatically assumed off rip that the original founding name for WWE was WWF. People always just assume that it's World Wide Wrestling Federation. That was the original name, but it's not. The original name is actually Capital Wrestling Corporation.
Ooh.
That was the CWC was the actual original name of the founding company. So I answered him there, but I wanted to share it here on the pile as we were asking questions. Another issue here on YouTube. Now we're in the YouTube area here for the comments, and somebody underneath. It was another trivia question from you. You were getting a lot of love in the comment section for your trivia questions.
Okay.
And there was a particular question where someone had wrote in the comments. Oh no, excuse me. Your question was, who was the very first WWE Women's Champion after the revival in 1993? Which A, I thought was a great question, and B, it was a very specific question because it specifically states after the revival in 1993, which is why some of us were, in the clip, you don't see the part where we were all struggling to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was Harry who answered the question. He answered Alundra Blaze, which was the correct answer. Now, I'll take you to the comment. The comment states, "Well, that's easy as fuck, because of her famous '90s run. She was literally the only one," which is not fucking true. Which is not fucking true. There were other women in that division who won the championship. Bull Nakano was one of her greatest rivals. But there were a couple of women who won the championship. And we needed to come up with the person who did it first. So he's claiming it was an easy one to answer, but at the same time, it really kind of wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I don't want him to come in here in my comment section downplaying what's going on.
Challenge my trivia.
Yeah, because there was definitely more than one option. And as a matter of fact, there were very few options, but there was more than one option. And then it wasn't much longer after that run with all of those women when it was banned or disbanded yet again. And then we got it back in the Attitude Era with Sable and Jacqueline, and we've had it ever since. But there have been some other options. So I don't want them downplaying your question. That was a good question. And then we had the misleading handshake. This is the clip where I talked about how the handshake was a setup by Raja Jackson to get his hands on him later. There was a comment here by Don Salchicha 115.
Ooh.
He wrote, "Yeah, he was allowed to hit him back once. Hell, 3 or 5 times would have been stiff, but still okay. But 20? Piece of shit move, regardless of how you look at it." Which is ironic, because the way that we looked at it was that it was a piece of shit move.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're agreeing with us.
It could just be agreeing with us. I don't think it sounded like he was disagreeing.
But what I'm saying is that if you listen to this one clip and then you read his comment, it almost kind of takes the tone like we didn't say that. It was almost like my comment was trying to excuse the 20 piece, which was not my point. I think I said immediately after that statement that it was still a shitty move to do, and he's an animal and he shouldn't be part of any of this shit. But in that moment, I understood the handshake because, as I said in the clip, we from the hood. Of course I'm going to shake your hand so you can get close. So I can tear your fucking throat out. I'm not going to let you walk off. That's fucking stupid. So, yeah. But I just wanted to make that clear for anybody who, I wanted to address that one. I did one we did when we were talking about Avengers Doomsday. That got, I think this is a pretty awesome comment because I actually I think I responded definitely on the table. This was specifically, this was a clip about Nightcrawler and Mystique, and we were going through the different people who were going to be in there because of that video with the chairs where it revealed all this stuff. Sure. And it says, he wrote, I have this feeling, he being JP Walkman 9671. I have this feeling they're bringing everyone back just to kill them off in the first 10 minutes. Think about it. These stars are going to require ridiculous amounts for every minute they're on screen. The superhero fad is dying, which I disagree with. Marvel won't have the money to pay them all plus their top billers, which I also don't agree with. The less screen time, the better. Now this is the part where I agree. Now as for us, they've got our money. They can give us whatever crap they want. They would very well have made enough in their first week to turn a profit, especially with the X-Men and others getting 10 minutes of screen time. Now, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this comment up, because in the first paragraph, he says, the superhero fad is dying. Marvel won't have the money to pay them all, plus their top billers. And then the next paragraph, he goes, well, they've got our money, and they're gonna turn a hell of a profit in the first week. So which one is it? Are they broke, or are they making money hand over fist?
No, I think, I don't know if he intended to or not.
Go ahead, save his ass. Go ahead.
But what I'm getting from it, I think both the things he said is true, and I wouldn't say that the fad is dying, or maybe I guess you could say that because that does prove true to that. But I think it just leveled out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a video game release. It comes out first week, it's like hundreds of thousands of people playing at one time,
right.
And then by first 2 months, it like hits a certain steady number and it stays that way. And I think Marvel's is high enough to pay their people. So that's where I disagree. I think they're going to pay perfectly fine.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Not going to be this cult. It's not going to become this global phenomenon like it was the first season, the first wave. Now it's just this huge thing that comes out. Like, I don't think it's small because it's not as big, but again, I don't think it's nearly as big as it was when the whole first wave was happening. So I don't know what point he was trying to make there, but I think what he said is kind of true if you think about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, JP Walkman 9671. I took this comment to great offense because it's one of those hedge your bet type fucking statements to me. It's just like, yeah, it's fading, but it's making money, so it's just all right.
They got my money. They can give me anything they want.
Yeah, I haven't even given it to them yet. I'm putting it aside just for them, so I can go.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the comments, your trivia. You had asked who was the last ECW champion. We all said Rhino, which is the correct answer. We got a comment, however, that wrote Ezekiel Jackson was the last ECW champion. And I had to pick this one up for the show because, no, we don't talk about that ECW. He was the champion to that other ECW, the one the WWE owned. This is Mr. Piccolo Boulevard, by the way. He wrote, Ezekiel Jackson was the last ECW champion. I wrote, and in response, yuck. We don't talk about that era, LOL.
Yuck.
We don't talk about that era, LOL, because we don't. That's not the real last ECW champion, and you knew it when you typed it. That was a troll move.
You knew with your whole heart.
Yeah, that was a troll move. No one... Ezekiel Jackson will sit here and shake his head, dude. Calm down. So, the last one we have here, we did one of the shorts was about Triple H and the differences between him and Vince McMahon. And somebody wrote, this one hurt me. I got legitimately pissed when I read this. It said, too many pronouns, pal. Old Vince McMahon quote. He would say when a broadcaster talks about multiple guys but doesn't use names, who the fuck is he that this guy is talking about? Okay. At York8839, go fuck yourself. Okay? On multiple levels. Multiple levels. First and foremost, too many pronouns, pal. We know who said the quote. We listen to the Cornet podcast just like you do. We know who the quote's from. He would say when broadcasters talk about multiple guys but doesn't use names, multiple guys. We mentioned 2 fucking guys. And I guess technically that is multiple, but it's 2 fucking guys.
That is multiple.
And then he says, who the fuck is he that this guy is talking about? Now, he just did it here, did he not? He said this guy. Where's the name, pal? Who the fuck is he that this guy is talking about? Who's this guy? That's not a pronoun, but that's not my fucking name. My birth certificate does not say this guy.
Or pal.
So I responded. I wrote, the description of the video contains the answers you're looking for. Because he's asking, because he's asking me who am I talking about? In a video entitled Triple H is different than Vince McMahon, he wants to know who the fuck I'm talking about. Comprehension, boys and girls. Reading comprehension. It's important. Essential in some cases. Unless you're the president of the United States. But that's different.
But I digress.
Agree to disagree. So we're moving on. Those are some of the comments. Please continue to comment, to like. There's a couple of people who've been bookmarking us, favoriting us. They've been ringing the bells for notifications. I appreciate all of you out there. Good job and fucking well done across the board.
Well done. Good job, guys.
Well done.
Good fucking job. Good hustle out there.
Yeah.
If I was near you, I would slap your ass right now.
I would totally slap
athletically.
Yeah.
Athletically.
Not in a gay way. In
No.
a sports way.
Or in a sexual harassment that could get me sued.
Yeah, we don't need HR involved in this.
Completely athletic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we're going forward.
My hand wouldn't linger. It would be quick. It would be a quick action.
Next up, segment 2.
Segment 2. We're headed to athletic greatness, Dave. We're heading to athletic greatness. We're heading to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. And the halftime show will be Benito. It'll be the Bad Bunny.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy.
Are we excited, right? The world is so rejoiced right now.
Yeah. The overwhelming positivity coming from this announcement is overflowing. There's too much positivity. Everyone's just so happy and joyous that a Bad Bunny, a superstar, a megastar of his caliber, is going to be gracing the gridiron for 13 minutes on Super Bowl Sunday to grace us with what will certainly be one of the most talked about halftime show performances in the history of the gig. Bad Bunny, right there for the world to see. And we're here for it. Unless you are without melanin in your body.
Hold on, time out. That's not fair.
No. I know it's not. I know there's not. I know there's more.
There's some white people out there that love Bad Bunny. They don't know what word he's saying.
You want to hear something crazy? And this is absolutely true, 100%. There's Puerto Ricans that hate this right now.
Yeah, actually.
There's people from all walks of life. I'm making the joke about the whites because that's usually how this goes, right? Ever since we started adding the hippity hop to the Super Bowl performances, the Caucasian group has had their issues for years. But in this particular case, it seems there's some uniting in the idea that this is a terrible, terrible fucking idea. And what are you going to do? Because I think there's a bigger problem at large here than just who's going to play at the Super Bowl. Let's be real for a second. For everybody who's complaining about the halftime show, it'll be on, but are you really watching the Super Bowl halftime show? Who knows? I know some people who don't watch it live, but they watch it later when they release it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just to see the whole unedited version of it. Because usually if you're doing Super Bowl, you're either doing Super Bowl party, Super Bowl get-together, there's talking. You're talking through the football game, let alone the Super Bowl. And let's be honest, the Super Bowl halftime show has been for your wives and girlfriends this entire time.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's the one thing that the ladies get. They have to sit through football for like 3 hours. They get 13 minutes to fucking dale and dance and do whatever they gotta fucking do
to get their pop culture.
Yeah. What was the last? They've done the last few with Rihanna, and I don't know if the wives were into Kendrick Lamar, but before that, with The Weeknd, Usher, there's been a lot of Lady Gaga. There's a lot of mainstream pop artists that have been doing this for forever as it is. So you're not really paying attention to this. I think we have an overall bigger problem when it comes to the Bad Bunny conversation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the big problem that I've seen is apparently there's a large group of individuals, probably the majority, which is kind of sad, of people who live in this country who did not know that Puerto Ricans...
that Bad Bunny was a superstar?
No. And not even Bad Bunny. That Bad Bunny is a U.S. citizen.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fun.
They didn't know. They did not know that Puerto Ricans were U.S. citizens. They had no clue. There's people online twittering right now. It's like, is he even allowed to, they're like, isn't he from Puerto Rico? I was like, yes. So he needs a green card. No. He's born here? Yes. But not here. Correct. It's almost like you're right there. Push through, baby. You got this. It's right there.
It's right there. Reach out and
just come to it right here. You're close. You're kind of getting it, right? So there's a little thing out there called U.S. territories. And all that it really is that the United States government went to different locations and just said, we like it here. It's ours now. And that's pretty much it.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. We like this.
So
this is ours now.
Yeah, this is ours now. We just own it now. That's it. That's all that it is.
This is nice.
Yeah, this is nice. So I saw some things. The reason why I put it on the list to talk about today is because I saw some things leading up to this day that I never thought I would see. Because remember, this is a whole new generation of social justice warriors, right? They take everything to the nth degree. So they're now finding, we have a whole group of people who are just learning for the first time that Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, right? And then they heard that there was more, that there's other U.S. territories like the Virgin Islands and the Isle of Samoa, and they're like, no, these are all U.S. citizens. And they're like, wait, what? And now, what should have been a moment of enlightenment, a moment for them to be educated in some way,
and to come together,
has now turned into a rallying cry for people actually saying, why are they citizens? Why are we granting these people citizenship? I don't understand. They don't live here. They don't have anything to do with this goddamn place. So now there's people actually having the conversation, should we be revoking citizenship here? Hold on a second. They don't.
Oh my God. Off the Super Bowl is fucking crazy.
We're leading into a whole, you know how bad it got? There was an individual, he had a check mark and everything. There's an individual who's like a big politic, like Charlie Kirk, right? With the whole podcasting gig, and he has a bit of an audience. He was starting to question whether or not Hawaii and Alaska should even have statehood. It's like, they're all the way over there. How the fuck? He goes, I can't drive to Hawaii. How are they part of this fucking... I'm like, that's deep, bro. Bad Bunny pissed you off so much you want to cut off Hawaii? How the fuck did we get here? How did this happen? Because now we have
this is a difficult conversation to have, to not get political. Because I think our next this kind of gets into, it's kind of weaving into our next conversation as well.
Yeah.
everyone is like the whole country is spiting their face. Like to say, like let's take a second. I won't get too political. But let's take a second to understand what that person just said.
Well, yeah. Let's try
They
to put it
said-
into perspective here.
They said, look, they're not a part of us. So let's give the rest of the world more territory so that they can come in and build and surround us. So let them have Alaska, which is right on the skirts of us. I'm not that good with maps, but I
Well, Alaska is the one barrier
Where it's
between Russia and Canada.
So okay, yeah. So let's unlock that door.
So let's
And
just
then-
let's just unlock that. Yeah.
And then Hawaii, like it's just a piece of land on the earth, right?
It's a vacation spot for us.
But like,
yes.
like I said, I don't want to get too deep into this, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, do these people even know what the fuck they're saying? Like, I think, look, again, no, I'm done. I'm not getting into that. But the point is, it's fucking crazy to me. Absolutely like, we are towing the line here, like, where some of these topics that seemed like they'd be very fun to have a conversation about,
Yeah.
it's like, it's political. It's like, you can't, it's so hard to have some of these conversations without getting into the, like, dude, I think you're a little too wrapped up into red and blue, and you're not thinking about what you're actually fucking asking, because again, you don't like the fact that one of the most popular human beings in the fucking world, because he's global, he is not you just in the States. This dude is global, and to get into the next point of it, to piggyback on that, he's not going to be doing, I know some of the controversies, he's not doing stuff in the States. So to my point is, if he's not touring in the States, but everywhere else, doesn't that mean he's fucking global? Like, what are we talking here? Like, why
That
are
he
we
didn't need
spiting
the States.
ourselves?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and it's fucked up too, and I think he's doing a great job at it because he explained why, and I think his explanation isn't fucking ridiculous. Dennis, he's like, no, listen, I'm gonna be a hotspot for what's going on there, and I don't want to contribute to that.
Actually,
But-
you know what's funny? I know what you were about to say. That comment that he made, and I'm going to let you say exactly what it was that he said, actually fueled the stupidity further. And I'll explain why when you finish it. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think him saying that about how he thinks his shows in the U.S. will become a hotspot for ICE,
Right.
and all he's saying is, look, our team came together, we saw what's happening, there is potential of this.
Yeah.
We don't want to put anyone in danger, so we're not going to do that, and we're just gonna go over here. No smoke to anyone, right? Because they're taking like everyone does. They're taking his words of, I'm not touring in the US, right?
Right,
That's what the phrase that they're boxing, and now they're making him look like some kind of jerk because of it. Even though I think his comments are completely valid, and then he obviously out of context, because he goes on to say, look, I've toured in the States. I love the States. It's fantastic. Pretty much there's shit going on right now I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to get anyone jammed up just because they came out to see me and now their whole life is fucked up. I don't want to do that. Everyone is welcome to my shows. I am not saying nobody can come. I just don't want to do shows here because of this. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Then proceeds to fucking sell out everywhere he goes. Yet we still have people calling into a radio show talking about he's not generational. He's not a generational talent, so he shouldn't be on the Super Bowl. Or the craziest shit, and I don't want to get too racy here.
Okay.
But fucking, I was listening to Breakfast Club, and this black guy called in and goes, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not gonna know what he's talking about. And then Charlamagne goes, well, you know, like the white people said the same thing about Kendrick Lamar, right? He was like, yeah, but it's like it's Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, dude, that's the point.
That's the
Like,
point, you dumb shit.
That's the point. It's like, first of all, you're supposed to do something new so that you can get a larger demographic. You're supposed to diversify, and the crazy shit is that usually when there's a diversified pick, which I don't think it's a diversified move, but it is diversity, right? How many times have we had a fully Spanish speaking, like almost 99% of his music is Spanish,
Right.
and even I was at work and a lady was like, "Oh, he's gonna bring on, he's probably just bring on some English talent." I don't, because he's done songs with this person, this person, this person. I was like, "Yeah, but what you don't understand is like Bad Bunny's such a big star, is that you think he's teaming up with those English speaking people for exposure for himself, which is kind of true. But to be honest with you, those people were going to him for exposure in Latin America. And you can see that with some of the most songs that are done with Bad Bunny are in Spanish. They come over and do his language on his music because that's the people they're trying to, like, he is a bigger pull than your favorite star. Yet because they're not a fan of the Spanish music, they think he's just some guy that's diversity, or he's on the Super Bowl because he's going against Donald Trump because of ICE, which he's not necessarily outright saying. He's just, explaining, I'm not doing this because of this. But it's hilarious to see that these people have no clue that I would put Bad Bunny up there as the largest talent. And I know that people try to make an argument, well, it's Taylor Swift. It's Taylor Swift. No, because I don't think Taylor Swift has Latin America behind her. Like, he has both English and Spanish people behind him. And the crazy thing, on my tangent, I'll end it here. The one thing I did learn 10 years ago, something like that, I remember seeing that window of Latin America. Like, I think, what was it? It was FIFA. Like, I was always a Madden guy, right? So I'm like, oh, sports. And I always think like English, big, that's my bubble. That's where I'm at. And I remember once clicking on like a FIFA stream, and it took me to this completely different fucking streaming world of Spanish speaking people. And the views on that shit blew my mind. Some of those, there were streamers on there larger than the English the English speaking streamers, like by a long shot, like multi-million people that follow them and stuff. I'm like, dude, I didn't know Latin America was like that big. Like, holy shit, they got like their whole own following and everything like that. So, and I think that's just being brought to a larger stage, and people are kind of getting exposed for being weird and shit like that. But I don't know, people are being weird. This is so funny. Like, every little thing like this just gets blown out of proportion now. It's every week something different is fucking happening.
You have to kind of laugh at it after a while, right? So, like, everything you just said, when he mentioned the ICE thing, what I mean by how it fueled the stupidity is he said, yeah, I don't want to endanger anybody. ICE is going to shows. They're arresting people. I don't want people to be arrested, so I'm not going to do it. And then people said, see? He's Puerto Rican, but he's worried about ICE. See, he doesn't want to be deported. And they said, no. He can't be deported.
He's good.
He's fine.
He's looking out for his
and
fans.
then they said, well, if he's not worried about ICE, then what would he be concerned about ICE coming to the shows for if his audience is Puerto Rican? No, his audience is Latino,
Spanish.
which is many different countries of people, and they don't want those people to get shipped off some goddamn where.
Hold on, let me shoot them some bail, though, because anyone who is not Hispanic, I know this is a running joke. I know a lot of people think it's a funny joke, but if you're Latin, you understand that this is a reality. This is a real thing. If you're not Latin, people think all Latin people are Mexican. So because the argument is towards Mexicans, they just assume every Latin person is Mexican from ICE.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, you got Hispanic people on fucking ICE, dude. Yeah. It has nothing to do with Mexicans per se, but it's like every person outside of being Hispanic just assumes, and I know it's a running joke, but they assume that all Spanish, oh, you're Mexican. That's real. People really believe that. That is a real thing.
Oh my God. And for the record, for people who are like about the language barrier, when people say, well, he's gonna speak entirely in Spanish, we don't know what the fuck he's gonna say, right? For the record, and I want this clear for everybody, okay? This isn't Bad Bunny's first Super Bowl performance. He already performed at the halftime show. Yes, you see how you didn't even... No one remembers it. You know why? Because he wasn't the feature act. He joined the feature act on stage. It was the Shakira Jennifer Lopez halftime show, and he came out.
Did he do Spanish?
He sung in Spanish.
Yeah.
So he's already done it. So what are we mad about now? And it happened 5 years ago, by the way, before anybody goes, but that was a while ago. No, it was only 5 years ago.
I'll shoot the crazy some bail. That's just one song. We're not talking about an entire show.
Okay, but
around you.
Here's another issue that I have. I saw a video once, and it's on here somewhere. If I could find it while I'm talking to you, that would be great. But there was a video I saw a while ago where it was a conversation where the interviewer was asking random Americans, who do they think is more highly rated? What sporting event do they believe is the most popular and the most viewed sport in the world? Like, what event? And they said, and they gave two options: the Super Bowl or the FIFA final World Cup game.
FIFA, 100%.
Okay, but you know that because you have a brain in your head.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm just saying. I would.
When
say
he
FIFA.
asked random American people with 100% confidence in their chest, they said the Super Bowl. For the most part, there were a few football fans that were Latino that understood the FIFA thing, but these Americans really do believe this is the greatest thing in the fucking world, and that this is the one thing that the world stops when it's the Super Bowl. So I looked something up real quick to give our audience an idea of what?
Not numbers, dude. Don't hit them with numbers. They don't like numbers.
Oh, this is it. No, we're doing this. Hold on a second. Right, I'm going to give this to my audience. Likes the truth.
There we go. Yeah.
Our audience likes the fucking truth. This is what you come to Orsini's Uncensored Mind to listen to.
Right.
Facts.
Down here, baby.
We do facts on this goddamn show. The average viewership for the Super Bowl globally, not just here, globally, is anywhere from 100 to 115 million viewers, and it ranges. So, like, for instance, the last year's Super Bowl was Eagles and the Chiefs. The average viewership for that Super Bowl was 127 million. So that was well above average. As a matter of fact, it's being listed here as the all-time record. There were more people watching this Super Bowl that just happened than ever before. And the halftime show for Kendrick Lamar, who, by the way, there are Americans who don't even like this shit, including me. I didn't want to watch Kendrick Lamar. He said they got 133 million for the halftime show. That means 127 million watched the game, and their ratings went up by 6 million for the halftime show. So it peaked at 133 million. That is incredible. That is a large number of fucking people. Okay? The FIFA World Cup averages between 1.4 and 1.5 billion views. Billion with a B. Worldwide. Their record was at 1.5 billion viewers. This is 1.5 billion people were watching this event live as it happened. The 2022 final between Argentina and France. That means 1.5 billion were watching all at once. The real football game.
The football
with the accent mark. Super Bowl is our deal. I like football. I love football, honestly. I love the big game. Peanuts compared to what the rest of the fucking world is doing. Once again, we're in our bubble. Once again, we're in our bubble. It's sad, actually, how people, I don't say ignorant, that's strong, but just how out of the loop a lot of these fucking Americans are. So I will put this under the same category that I put WrestleMania 43 for me. Y'all can have at it. Doesn't make any difference to me. I'm going to watch it on YouTube anyway like everybody else. I know my wife will. I know my sisters will. They're big on Bad Bunny. My wife's not huge on Bad Bunny, but she doesn't dislike it. It is what it is. She's not one of those Latinas.
I fucking love Bad Bunny.
There you go.
I'm
See?
so excited, and so is my wife. We are so fucking excited. We will be pissing off all the white people.
That's right. We should do a Super Bowl party and just fucking make it a thing.
Dude, I fucking love Bad Bunny. This is amazing. I'm excited for diversity, and I hope that he goes full Spanish the entire time, and I'm not gonna know a fucking word he says, but I'm gonna be so excited.
I want him to be extra petty. Not only do I want him singing in Spanish, I want him to bring white artists in as guests and have them sing in Spanish.
I want them to subtitle his shit on the Titantron in Spanish.
Subtitle it. I want you to see the words that he's saying.
With a bouncing ball as well.
Oh, fuck. Yes. Little Bad Bunny action. You guys are... These people are so goddamn funny. Y'all so goofy.
You're so goofy.
It's the Super Bowl halftime show. For the record, I'm still seeing more Bad Bunny stuff on my feed. You know the government shut down yesterday, right? It was a government shutdown, and you all out here arguing about Benito, man. Get over yourselves. Get over yourselves.
Yeah, that's a fact. You're speaking truth.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
It's time for segment 3.
NXT. Next. It's all about who's next. Black and gold, rainbow kaleidoscope colors. Now we've got black and silver. There's many different versions. David, did you get a chance to see some of that homecoming that I sent you?
Yes, I did. And as I was watching it, I'm like, hey, you know what? This segment's all him. It's all him.
Okay.
This is you. You got this. You got this. And you know what? That's not I know that, again, I know that sounds like I'm sliding. I'm absolutely not. I enjoyed what I saw because I know what I'm looking at. So but I do know this was a big nostalgia thing. A lot of the people that came up there were there doing the show was like a mixed main roster with other non-main roster people, stuff like that. So I say that I want you to take the reins on this and drive what it's supposed to feel like, because I feel like this was bigger than I understand. So help me out with that.
It wasn't big. It wasn't big. It wasn't big.
I was sitting there hoping, like, dude, I know something's here, and I just don't see it, but it's fine.
So it was more nostalgia for the people that took that ride. Yeah, it's fine, right? Exactly.
It's awesome.
I did a long time ago. Maybe you remember it. Maybe a few people out there. We had the anniversary coming up, so you're going to be hearing a lot of my old shit. But I got roasted. I got torched years ago when the clip, by the way, is on YouTube now. It's one of the few throwback clips that I have because I wanted people to remember when they killed me for this. Right? Because I had people, we did a round table, and I had people at that table, invited into my home, by the way.
Wow, the disrespect.
And they were just like, oh, that's what it got the conversation started. They were like, well, NXT is its own brand. I was like, it is not a brand. Raw and SmackDown are a brand. NXT is developmental. And they would go off, well, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, all these different people. Yes. They're being developed. They're worldwide, famous and world travel. Okay, still being developed because they're being developed into what they're supposed to do with WWE. And I was going through the whole thing. And it came up later again, a few years later, when somebody was really getting up. When NXT was really cooking. So it's Undisputed Era, it's Kevin Owens. I mean, they're really, it's fucking flying. Still not a brand. Still not a brand. How was you? All right. So since then, people have calmed down, and people have all seemed to have come to the conclusion now that their indie favorites are no longer in NXT, and it's just athletes from different schools trying to pretend to be wrestlers for a while. Now people kind of do get the sense about the developmental part. But the reason why I brought up Homecoming as a diving board, so to speak, into the conversation about how effective NXT really is or has become is because you kind of got a taste of what NXT could really be when it's effective. And what I mean by that is that when you see Finn Balor come back, when you see Rhea Ripley come back, when you see Tyler Breeze or whatever the case may be, there's a few names that came back on this show, just very briefly, but you get a chance to see them through a different lens than you did when they were on NXT. Because there were so many people from those years in NXT that got called up and completely whiffed. It just didn't work itself out. Now, you can blame Vince, you can blame Pritchard, you can blame Michael Hayes, you can blame anybody that you want. You can even blame the talent. Plenty of blame to go around for everybody. Some things click, some things don't. Which leads me to my conversation about the current state of NXT, because Obafemi just recently lost the world title to Ricky Saints, and I've already made my piece. I've said what I've had to say about Ricky Saints. I'm tired of getting all the negative feedback from people about my thoughts on Ricky Saints. I'm good. I'm not going down that path. All right. I don't like him at all as a character, as a wrestler. I don't like anything about him. I don't understand what the thing is with that. To me, that title win is more of an FU to AEW than it is that they actually think he's a fucking world champion, which is nuts. It's nuts for me to think that would be the case. But he beat Obafemi, who was the one guy there that I thought was actual championship caliber. It is what it is. They're calling him up, and everyone's like, "He can't miss. You gotta use him right. You keep the presentation. You do this. You do that." Obafemi, and I don't think you're too familiar with Obafemi, but Obafemi is a big athletic guy. He can cut a decent promo. He can perform pretty good. Good power set. And I could see where the hype is with him. But like I tell every single person that gets into this industry, it's not what you can do. It's how they market and promote what you do that gets you over. And I don't see standout from him. And in my opinion, he's the best that NXT currently has. And I don't really see standout. Trick Williams, I kind of see it. He's got a charisma to him, good look, can get in the ring and do some pretty unique stuff, but he's not exactly a ring technician either. His work is okay, but for a guy his size, I feel like he reminds me a lot. This is no disrespect to him. He reminds me a lot of Booker T. He's got the big build, jacked, but he's agile. He's got the big kicks. He can move. He bounces around a lot. But, again, standout, right? So Trick, I feel like, has more standout because he's got that charisma. There's an X factor there with the body. But total package, I like Obafemi. But the phrase "can't miss," that's tough. I think that people need to stop putting that shit on NXT talent. They're either gonna hit or they're gonna miss. There's nobody who's can't miss. There were people who doubted that Kevin Owens could ever do anything on the main roster based on his style and look what he did. Finn Balor was considered can't miss. They missed with Finn Balor.
To be fair, hold on. I'm not the big.
You gonna jump on the injury?
I'm gonna shoot him some bail. I think his body gave up on him. I think he had everything to do what he needed to do, but his body could not keep up.
That was in 2016, though. His body hasn't been able to keep up since. His body is still bad?
Absolutely. I think so.
Oh, maybe
think
there's
that's why
more
he
to it
doesn't
than
go
that.
as
I don't
hard
know
as he
then.
used to.
But I figured if they were going to pull the trigger, they would have pulled it by now. And then to see him come back to NXT Homecoming and it still works. That was my wife and I were talking about it. It was like NXT Homecoming was a school reunion, right? All of the former alumni came back to campus one last time, take a look around. And when Finn did his entrance, it was like the college quarterback who came back, right? The future, like he was the star of the whole thing. But then he graduated, moved on to the pros, and he's had a pretty okay career in the pros. But in college, he was the man, son.
Oh
And-
he's
Yeah, and all of the Charlotte, Alexa, they did the William Regal got a chance to say War Games for no reason because no one's going to War Games, not from NXT anymore. WWE has that concept now, but there's a lot of talent. You know, I hear a lot about the women's division, right? They were like, "Oh, the women's division is as great as it's ever been," and blah blah, which is fair. They're deep, but Lola Vice, not really buying it. Jada Parker. All great-looking women. Kalani Jordan, all great-looking women. No doubt about it. Shawn Michaels is down there. He is not a boy toy, but he is an ass magnet. This motherfucker knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. But they're developing, and they're developing longer than normal because they don't have the background. Let's take a look back at the black and gold brand because I said it then. Of course Triple H looks like a genius. He's not working with rookies. Sure, they have to develop into the WWE system and adapt, but they all have a large range of experience to help them with that adaptation. Claudio Castagnoli turning into Cesaro was an easy transition. El Generico becoming Sami Zayn was an easy transition. Kevin Steen becoming Kevin Owens was an easy transition. A lot of these guys, Samoa Joe staying Samoa Joe, was an easy transition. Shinsuke Nakamura was an easy transition.
You didn't have to describe it like that.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Samoa
Joe is really good at being Samoa Joe.
He's damn good, dude.
He was born to be Samoa Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, he was born for that role.
When
dude.
that's your card, yeah. You know, look at the Undisputed Era. Cole, Riley, Fish, fucking Roderick Strong. These guys are top of the fuck. These guys were top of the food chain talents before they got to you. Of course, you look like a genius. Because look at the talent that you had. Sean is on the CW network getting ratings, competing with TNA, doing all these different things whilst using people with almost zero outside of the WWE experience. And he's making it work for what he's doing. But it's supposed to be a developmental system that eventually feeds stars into the main roster. I don't see them in NXT. There's a few where I go, okay, like an Ethan Page. I could see him being a dastardly heel on main roster television, but at that build, at that style, at his height, I don't see who was he feuding with as a heel. Babyface Cody? No. A babyface Randy Orton? Maybe, because Randy Orton could actually put over a fucking cut log. He can get in there with a broomstick even at 75 years old. He can get in there and fucking do the shit that he does. My point is that there's nobody who's going to shoot out of NXT and like Finn Balor debuted and became Universal Champion. Kevin Owens debuted, beat John Cena. You know, these guys were fucking ready. We just got to put the machine behind them. None of these individuals are there. But I think it's not a shot at them. It's me saying to people the reason they're not ready is because they've started from fucking zero. When the black and gold brand was huge, everybody, all the fans wanted everybody called up. Call Cole, call McIntyre, call Neville, call Bray Wyatt, call everybody who got over, call Bayley up, call Sasha up, call Charlotte up, call Becky up, and call Paige up. There was always somebody in the wings where you can go, damn, I can't wait for the. That's the NXT was so deep at that point they were doing yearly call ups. Every year there was like Enzo and Big Cass and the Ascension, and there was always a call up every fucking year. WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, there was another call up. They stopped that because their talents are not ready for that. So I have to ask the question. It's the reason why I brought it up, and I want to put it on social media for you guys to answer the question for me in the chat, in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you think. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that current NXT is not effective. It's doing the best job that it possibly can under the circumstances. But no one's ready there. I don't truly believe Obafemi can't miss. I don't believe it. I think he could be successful. Can't miss? Guaranteed it's a lock? He's going to be a star? I don't think so.
I think they really should, and maybe it's just hard to do because of the way people look at NXT, but I really think it should pivot from developmental to its try to like just. And again, I don't know if it's them calling it developmental. I don't know if it's us saying that this is developmental, but I feel like they should just continue. Sean should continue to do what he's doing. This should be an opportunity. So yes, technically developmental, but not for the end all be all of being like brought up. Like I think they should get rid of the draft for it because I think that actually drives that mentality as well, and just let them take that pressure out of there, dude. Let them just be who they are and what they do and develop themselves naturally. And if they end up at the main roster because they've been able to develop some type of product, then that's fucking awesome. But I think they should just be in their own bubble and do what they do. And that's the company they wrestle for. And if they get other opportunities, cool. And I think if we can change that idea of it being a developmental and more again on the lines of this is the product, and then go from there, I feel like it just would be received better. But I don't know.
I've been over the. You just brought up a trigger word for me, draft. The draft. I've been over the draft for forever. The draft is fucking meaningless. You'll put a guy on Raw and then he'll be on SmackDown as a guest in like 2 weeks. I always believed, and I liked the draft in the beginning when it was the original concept. Now I'm fucking over it. But I believe personally, I think you should treat these brands like you would if they were actual companies, as opposed to brands.
Yes.
So like if you're a Raw guy, and it's time for them, like you want to freshen them up, you want to do something like sending them to SmackDown or even the NXT, whatever the case may be. Don't do a draft. Don't draft him to another brand. Treat it like a company. His contract expired. We offered to renew. He chose not to. He heard an offer from SmackDown. He's now signed to SmackDown. Make it look like a business coup as opposed to draft. He's lucky, he got lucky. He got like back in the day. It used to be stupid when they would like Raw drafts. I don't know, fucking AJ Styles. But then like AJ Styles was already on Raw, so you're like, so he's not going anywhere. He just stays right where he. Like, what the fuck are you doing? No, like, okay, his contract came to an end, but good news, everybody. We agreed to a deal. He's re-signed for another year. AJ's staying on Raw, or something like that. Because at least with the NXT thing, it makes sense. Because every time you do a draft involving NXT, people leave NXT and go to the main roster. No one on the main roster gets drafted to fucking NXT. Right. It never goes the other way. So it doesn't.
Draft wise, but and this is to your point. I'm agreeing with you, and to your point, it goes a step further because then you'll see stuff like people that are on the main roster are now on NXT, and it feels like a demotion.
Yeah, exactly.
When it really should just be a pivot. Look, your stories. We don't have a story here.
Yeah.
We can use you over here. Yeah. So instead
of
more like your pivot, right? It's a pivot. It's not, but not right now. To the exact point you were making. Now, when I see someone on NXT who was on the main roster, oh fuck, what happened? They're demoted now. They're back to developmental. That's crazy. So yeah, I agree. I think that's something they should really work on and try to really just separate. You got all these companies now. Like everything can have its own vibe, and it is what it is. Like it doesn't have to be like this big like you said, like draft roster thing. Like,
Yeah.
we could just keep it separate.
Yeah, I want to give NXT grace here in their developmental process because it does seem to be working out. Lola Vice is not ready for the main event, but if you know that Lola Vice's history is MMA, she's never really been involved with pro wrestling, and then see her perform now, she's doing a phenomenal job for someone who just got the job 2 years ago. For someone who just got into the business 2 years ago and is in a position where she has to learn on the job in front of an audience every single night, live on fucking television. And then they've been sending her to the AAA shows. So now she's performing in front of a whole completely different audience every now and again. For someone who's been put on into that position and is thriving, that's great. Ton of potential there. Not ready. Jada Parker. There were people that were mad she didn't get drafted. That Julia and Stephanie Vakor got drafted, but not. She's not ready. She's still working on that gimmick. The whole "Hey Miss Parker," all that stuff, that shit works, but it ain't over yet. Like, for instance, like the times that we've gotten to see them in a taste, like when Jada was in the Royal Rumble, no response, no pop. Because just like that commenter who said to us the other day, hey, they just did a flag on the pole match the other day. I didn't see it. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fucking matter to me that it happened over there. If the tree falls in the woods, does it still make a sound? Yes, it does, but I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
No video. So
I know logically it does. Because when I am there and it falls, I hear it. If I was watching NXT and I saw the flag on a pole match, I would go, oh, look, a flag on the pole match. But I didn't see it, so I can't say it. I got to go back and watch it. So I'm giving Sean grace. Let him keep doing this thing. He's cooking down there. He's got a few veterans. Jordan Grace in the women's division. Blake Monroe in the women's division. He's got Wesley coming back at some point. That's a veteran of that division. Ricky Saints technically is a veteran, but he's developing into the system now. He's the NXT champion. I can't keep having the same argument with... I'm going to stop calling them my friends after a while because they keep trolling me with this shit. The people are treating this guy like he's their gender. There's only one gender, my guy. There's only one.
There's only one.
There's only one gender, Mahal. And, you know, this guy has a huge fan base. I can't take it. I'll take that away from him. I cannot stand Ricky Saints. I just found out the other day he was black. They were like, he's a black man. I said, where? I was like, what? Because they brought him up because
the fuck does that have to do with anything?
It has. The reason why it keeps coming up is because there's this conversation that Triple H is a racist, right? He doesn't book or promote black people. On NXT, they just recently had like this main event where it was like Javon Evans, Moose, or some Trick Williams or some shit, right? And then there was like another, like the whole main event was black guys. And then people were sharing a picture of it. They were like, Triple H would never, or whatever the fucking case may be. And so Ricky won the title last week. And when he won the title, that was, for some reason, that was the whole social media post. Another black NXT world champion. I said, he's black? And somebody else, I didn't get a chance to write it. Somebody else, the comments was like, Ricky Saints is black? And they're like, yeah, what did you think he was? And then somebody wrote underneath, I just thought it was a dirty Cuban or something. Like, I didn't realize he wrote dirty Cuban. I was like, yeah.
I get Hispanic a little bit. Yeah.
I think it was more on the Hispanic side. Nobody really thought he was a black dude. He definitely don't move like no goddamn black guy. It was like, all right, whatever, fine. Okay, he's black.
Sure, dude, you got
maybe he's Afro-Caribbean or some shit. I don't fucking know. Whatever the fuck all that shit is. So yeah. So congrats to him. I fucking guess, but he's not my cup of tea. I don't get into that. I don't know. He still, not for nothing, has one of the fruitiest taunts I've ever seen. That shit with the hand in the face and he does. Oh my god. He's so fucking cringe. His gear looks like a diaper. Okay, no, I'm getting off. I'm not gonna sit here and shoot these shots. Fuck all that shit. Oh god, drives me fucking. This is why I'm a terrible coach. Because I will uplift you when things are going right, but when you fucking up,
damn, you gonna tear them down?
I'm gonna have you fucking reconsidering existing. I don't want to see any of this shit around me. I go too far sometimes, but that's me. That's how I live my life.
Fair enough.
To the edge. or to the cope, whatever he wants to call himself now. Anyway, let's get off to our main event.
It is now time for our main event.
I said it at the start of the show. I will say it again. EA Sports. It's in Saudi Arabia, folks. It's gone. Electronic Arts. Man, you know, we have sat here a couple of times and we have gone over so many different facets of games, right? I'll be honest. Before you came on the show, I didn't touch on the topic very often. But I got inspired to learn more about this industry because having you on the show, it's great. I talk a lot about wrestling to you, and I feel like sometimes you walk away knowing a little bit more each time we have these conversations. But when we have these conversations about games, I always feel like I walk away learning something when I hear you talk about it. And it wasn't that long ago where we sat here and we did the Game Changer stuff. And we were talking about how Activision got together. And we were talking about Blizzard. And we were talking about, and Electronic Arts came up when we did the conversation about Madden, obviously, which is one of the properties. There are so many more that have come from EA. And Electronic Arts.
That's the main property, by the way.
Yeah, it's the main property.
It's the moneymaker.
So I'm going to start this conversation off by telling a quick personal story about this decision because it was hilarious to me. Because there is a gentleman who was a close personal friend of mine. And when I did the conversation with you about WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia, he was the first motherfucker to be like, really? Because I think I said during that episode, yo, send me to Saudi Arabia right now. I'll take the check. Fuck it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because I think you asked me, he's like, would you go to the hell yeah? Where's my flight? I'm off right now. He was the first motherfucker. Really, bro? Like, you fuck with Saudi Arabia like that? Like, when did you hear me say, like, selective hearing, bitches? I did not say I support Saudi Arabia. I said money is green, my guy. Money is green, my guy. If I don't take the gig, does that solve Saudi Arabia's civil rights issues? No. So what the fuck are we talking about? I got to stay hungry because these people don't want to leave the country. I can't eat because they don't want to leave out of their oppressed situation. That's bullshit. So we had mentioned that on the last time when we talked about the WrestleMania thing. Little does people know, this individual is a huge Madden guy. Loves it. Loves it. Buys every fucking copy, every fucking time. So when this was announced, I did the one thing I don't normally do. I did a video call.
Okay.
I got that motherfucker on the phone. And he was like, what up? I said, yo, did you see this news real quick? And I sent him the link that I sent you. And his eyes got big. And he said, no fucking way. So I got into my my most petty stance, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you get like, you do almost like a squat. You get down real low. You tilt your head a little bit. You look right into the camera and you go, yeah, motherfucker. WrestleMania. I said I was gonna watch WrestleMania. I said, shit, if I would get booked at WrestleMania, I would go to WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. You talking all that bullshit about blood money? Nigga, Madden is blood money now.
You can't play no more.
Madden is blood money now, my guy. Yeah. So where are your morals now, bitch? What's happening?
What did he say? Did he stand on business?
He said he don't know what he's going to do. He's conflicted. Because remember, I called him at the exact day they made the announcement. And I said, whoa. What do you mean? You know, he's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of fucked up. This whole situation is fucked up. I said, no, this whole situation is cut and dry, my guy. Cut and dry. Now, as we'll just
on his ass.
Oh, I couldn't. I texted you first, and you said it was creepy.
Yeah.
And I'll let you expand on that in a second, because you said creepy. I was curious. What does it mean about creepy? But I told him, I said, because in the article that I sent you to, it says it's not just Saudi Arabia, like the government of Saudi Arabia, that is a part of this bundle and a part of this whole deal. It's actually part more of a Saudi Arabian public investment fund. And there's a bunch of different people. Silver Lake's involved. Infinity Partners is involved. And the actual the announcement itself isn't a confirmation of purchase. It's a confirmation of intent. The actual financial deal will close.
There's an offer.
Yeah, in 2027 is when the money will hit. But even a gentleman by the name of Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law to Donald Trump, is a part of this deal. So there's some ties all over the place. But of course, the hot button situation is that the Saudi Arabian government is involved in this. And they're now the owners, or will be the owners officially, of Electronic Arts. What did you mean by creepy? What about this story hit you like this is... Did you mean like weird, or like you saw this coming? Like, what did you mean?
Well, no, because they're it's not just that they're purchasing it; they're going private.
Right.
So they're coming off of the stock market.
Yes.
Right. So again, with the video that I sent you about them just getting their hands in a lot of different things, my brain goes, okay, is this again, like I said, it's really hard to get into this shit without getting political, but is this a slow takeover of some of our biggest companies that they're now going to start being owned by the Saudi Arabia? Like, what does that look like for us?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I know some people might be like, oh, I mean, it's just video games, right? But like,
yeah,
where does it start? You know what I mean? Like, and it's happening multiple things at once, and this is just the things that we're paying attention to.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that there aren't other things that they're buying or getting their hands into. Now it's just pure entertainment, and this is just smart business from them. Like, are we, again, to the comment that I said earlier about, hey, just let them have Hawaii. Like, why the fuck do we need Hawaii? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just land, it's just territory that puts, it's just a color that's our color on the map that now we want to turn white and let someone else fucking take it. So, like, when do we stop giving away our stuff? It's getting to the point where it's just like so many things are being, and this is just a small, but it's something that's like been in my mind for so long. But for a company that large, and I know you can argue like this was probably a perfect time for someone to come in and take it, because if you look at it, EA's kind of been struggling with it. So this is almost like a revival. Although I did see something like, in order for them to settle the deals, like they had to borrow $20 billion. We're also putting in debt. So I don't know the whole logistics on it. This is a very surface level. I don't know where the benefit is. But again, you're now going private, and Saudi's getting a part of it. However, that's distributed. A lot of our big companies are like pushing out, which I gives up a lot of control. Again, it's very hard to have this conversation on what I meant on that's actually kind of spooky. Like, without getting too political. So I'm trying not to do that, but that's what I meant by that. It's like, oof, what else are they buying? What else are they getting their hands in? Again, like I showed you that clip with comedy. Now you got the comedians coming. Is that a distraction? Look, guys, it's just entertainment. That's not a company. That's comedians coming over. But what does that invite? Right?
Right. Yeah.
We're spending the money, right? We look good. Look, we're doing good business. Oh, are you struggling? Here's some money. Let me buy that company. Oh, hey guys, why don't you come over here and do a concert? WWE, why don't you do a show? We don't own them. They're just doing a show. We like spending money. We're spending money. Oh, you're struggling? Here, I'll buy some of that company. You know what I mean? And then it just builds over time.
Right.
So it is distraction. What if it is trying to purchase as much as our properties or things that we own and getting in the system, and just by people selling their rights to them? I don't know. That's what I meant by spooky, but yeah.
Well,
to
your point, a lot of people were concerned when, okay, WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia, but it's just the one show, right? And then they being the Saudi Arabian government, also were a sponsor of the Canelo Crawford fight. You said, okay, well, it's just one boxing match, right? And then now we have the purchase of EA, Electronic Arts, and that's the video game industry. First, it was the sports entertainment industry, then the actual just straight up sports industry. This one's the video game industry, and now you have the comedy one, which is the one you mentioned earlier. You sent me the Joe Budden clip earlier for me to take a look at to see their conversation, and it goes. Their conversation on that podcast was a lot of the conversation you hear about all these topics, because now we also have the Riyadh Comedy Festival, which is taking place as we speak. They're having events involving comedians. They have a run of shows happening started in September 26th. It will continue until October 9th, and it's part of the kingdom's push to become a major entertainment hub under an initiative they have called Vision 2030. In their initiative, by 2030, they're looking for Saudi Arabia to be the entertainment hub in the entire world. That's their plan. That's their ideology. And when they say that they have confirmed comedians coming to perform in Saudi Arabia, these ain't Joe Schmoes. These ain't the people. These ain't the people working the fucking comedy clubs on 14th Street. I got it in front of me. Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Bill Burr, Aziz Ansari, Pete Davidson, Louis C.K., Tom Segura, Sebastian Maniscalco, Russell Peters, Joe Coy, Whitney Cummings, Jimmy Carr, Fluffy's there. Andrew Schultz, Bobby Lee, Chris Tucker, Hannibal Buress, Jessica Kirsten, Mark Norman, Sam Morrill, Zarna Garg, excuse me. There's a few names here. Dimish Patel. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. This festival is hosted across venues like King Fahd Culture Center, Boulevard Riyadh City, and even smaller theaters. Now, the reason why this particular one is making headway is because there are some comedians that were asked to come that declined. So like Mark Maron, Shane Gillis, Zach Woods, there's a few big name comedians that decided, I don't want anything to do with that, and they're standing on their morals and their standards. And you just said a second ago, which is a great point. It's like, how much do we give before we realize, we're probably giving them too much here. Hold on, folks, because they're not overtaking anybody. They're making offers. Yeah. Everything that they have purchased,
they're giving back. And the crazy shit is, the reason why they're able to get all these people is because they're not asking Dave Chappelle, who is arguably one of the greatest comedians of all time, who does shows on his own time and literally left multi-million-dollar contract because he didn't want to do what other people wanted him to do. Mm-hmm. He's famous for that. Is now going to Saudi Arabia because I promise you he's getting paid 100x what he would ever get paid here.
Yeah.
It's like money. It's money you can't refuse. And for those who stand on, the problem is that for those who stand on their morals, like the small list that you mentioned, that's cool. But the stars that are actually going outweigh you by multi-million, right? Like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Bill Burr.
Off top.
If those three alone went, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like the movement is the movement, right? Like these are things like Americans be asking for our people to do, right? Like those people at the top do something that's gonna change something. Like you're at the pinnacle point where you doing something could create a movement. Like they're just talking about anything in general. Like people want them to take a stance on certain things, yada yada. But here the moral is don't do business with them because they're bad people. And it's just like, well, you know what? The bag is so big. You're talking these people for these one shows that are like an hour long. They're being handed multiple generations of wealth in one show. Even if your morals are bad, like even if you go, man, I'm really gonna hate myself for this, and I'll never live a happy life for the rest of my life. How can you argue with the fact of, but if I do it, my kids can't fuck this bag up? Like it's impossible. for the future generations of whatever to not live off of this 1 hour of work. How do you say no to that?
I personally don't know if any of them actually do. I don't know if they do
hard.
or if they could.
I mean, right? Because then you think of it like this, right? What are the odds of anyone being offered that bag? Imagine the bag that Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and Bill Burr. Fuck all the other names.
Yeah.
Those three, and Louis C.K. I think might be up there too, but
Yeah.
he's not. He's not current, and he had controversy, so he kind of like slipped down a little bit.
Kind of loses value a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit because of here anyway. Over there, probably not so much. But he is a monster comedian as well. Those three alone, like, what do you like? What the hell do you think they were offered? No one could say no to that. I don't think you can. And if you can, and you were offered a lot of them, because obviously there were a few people who say no. Even if they say no, here's the thing: if they say yes, it feels like whatever's going to happen inevitably is going to happen. But if you say no, then whatever is going to happen inevitably is going to happen because someone else is going to say yes, and now you just didn't get the bag. It's just like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you actually look more like an idiot standing on your morals here than actually just fucking doing the deed and coming home with your money.
Yeah, some things are more important than money. Okay, but the thing that you're holding most important will not change a thing.
EA is selling their company to that group for $55 billion. You think your couple million is going to stop them from doing whatever it is that's happening?
Funny thing is that the people who I think said no to the Saudi Arabian government, I would be surprised if they were making $1 million.
No.
If you
They're making millions.
If you added them to this list of names that I just told you right now, I don't think any of them are in the top 5.
And that's what's crazy, but I think they're all making anywhere from 20 to 100x based on your name. And 20x for anyone at the lower card of those names that you heard is years of money that they would not have made if they didn't went over there.
Look at that. The acquisition of EA comes, the acquisition announcement comes less than a month before the release of EA's highly anticipated, I just got right into it, sorry. But it's a USA Today article. You can easily search it on Google. USA Today, it's just, the title is Jared Kushner, Saudi Arabia, more backers to buy EA in $55 billion deal. What this means for gamers. It's written by Greta Cross. Again, this is a USA Today article, September 29th. 2025, and she states here in the article that I just had it. Where did it go? The video game company responsible for developing and publishing popular game franchises like The Sims, Madden NFL, and this announcement comes within a few days of the release of the highly anticipated Battlefield 6. That'll be released very, very soon, and this announcement comes at the height of that. So I don't know if that hurts or helps their upcoming sales, but everyone is talking about EA at the moment. Let's talk real quick about the PIF, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. And the reason why we're bringing that up is because up until this announcement, it was just assumed by people that this is the Saudi Arabian government jumping into the video game world. But I sent you the video. Apparently, the PIF has been involved with video games for a while now. Previous to the outright purchase of EA, they had already been 9.9% owners. For the other gaming company T2, which I believe is a Grand Theft Auto company, the company that makes Grand Theft Auto, they were already 6.2% owners of that. They have a 4.2% stake in Nintendo. And they don't just sell this shit to anybody, by the way.
No, they don't. That one blew my fucking mind.
They own Pokemon Go and Monopoly Go, which is two of the highest mobile games going today, or at least at one point.
Look at you messing with blood money this whole time. You didn't even know.
Didn't even know. And I'll tell you something right now. Feels good. It feels right. One of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, and its portfolio includes Uber. Uber is being funded by the Public Investment Fund. Uber. Okay, according to the PIF website, the fund has about $925 billion worth of assets under its management. Silver Lake, another partner, is a private equity company. Silver Lake was founded by Glenn Hutchins and Roger McNamee in 1999. Its portfolio includes companies like Dell Technologies, sports marketing companies, Learfield, and weight loss company Noom. Silver Lake is headquartered in Menlo Park, California, and one of the assets they also help as far as the U.S. is concerned is assets like TikTok. Affinity Partners as well are part of it, and that's the one founded by Jared Kushner. They're more of an investment firm, so they have their hands in a whole lot of stuff, including companies based in the United States and in Israel. So if you're mad at them for Saudi Arabia, they're on the Israel front too. So how about that? Huh? Saudi Arabia's interest in EA is part of Saudi Vision 2030, a program which encourages the country's diversification of investments outside of just oil. In 2021, PIF invested about $3.3 million into Activision Blizzard, who was responsible for World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and Overwatch, and founded Savvy Games Group, a video game development, publishing, and investment company. PIF has also invested in Nintendo Saudi Arabia, hosted the 2025 Esports World Cup. So, they're not new to the game, folks. If this is you seeing it for the first time, welcome. I'm in that world as well. I did not know that their hands were this deep. But again, what did we say earlier? We deal with the facts here on this show. And the facts are the Saudi Arabian government has their hands in a lot of shit. So
already.
For years.
Yeah.
For years. So if you want to listen to a guy like Mark Maron, who spends most of his comedic stand-up talking about all the drunken, drug-infested stories that he's told about his personal life and how he wants to stand on morals, or a Shane Gillis, who, granted, is one of my favorite comedians in the world right now. That boy is on fire. I love that fucking guy. He wants to have his stands. I can't see myself going over there. No, fuck those guys. Great. Zach Woods, I don't want to go over there. Great. Anybody who doesn't want to go, great. No shade. Stay home. But to actively be coming out here and killing these comedians because they're going, oh, you guys are sellouts. How are celebrities of any kind not sellouts to some degree? That doesn't even make any sense at all whatsoever. The only people suffering from this situation is the people not going. Because if the comedians don't go, if WrestleMania does not go, if EA Sports as a company does not move to or have a headquarter in Saudi Arabia, if the boxing commission, if the esports, everything that we just talked about, they've got tennis coming to Riyadh, they've got sporting events, they've got entertainment, they've got the whole shebang heading to Saudi Arabia. If those things don't go, it's still Saudi Arabia. Just because you don't want to actively support something does not mean that you are actively part of its change. You're just allowing it to happen outside of your periphery. I don't like this because it's making me see the things that they do and I don't want to see them. I don't actually want to do anything to help change it.
You can.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So what do you give a shit if they go? The only thing I can possibly think of that would drive them to be this vocal about somebody else's fucking decisions is that they want to get on the wave without having to go. They'd rather get their names out there based on the controversy of them going as opposed to just not fucking going.
That's cool, but that controversy won't make you a penny.
No.
Compared to the amount of
nothing
money.
Of what they're doing is going to generate business for them at all whatsoever. And if it's not about business for them, and it's strictly morals and standards, then those are your morals and standards. What are you worried about the other person for? You're mad they don't have the same standards and morals that you do? That is insane. That is an insane way to live in this world. I know that there are people that do, obviously, We see it every day. But it's so weird to hear that concept from fucking people. It's like, I can't believe Dave Chappelle would go to fucking... What has Dave Chappelle done to lead you to believe that Dave Chappelle does anything he doesn't want to fucking do? At this stage in his life. Everything he's been through in this industry. All the shit that he talked about as far as conspiracy, as far as being led astray, as far as being used. All those stories that he told about Hollywood stripping him of his ability to do his job. Robbing him of his sense of individuality, trying to take something he created and made successful out from underneath him. And then, after they made that attempt, and he walked away from the table completely, continued to try to fuck him by using his material in perpetuity through other means. So even after they fucked with him, they were trying to make $1 off his ass. But he can't go to Saudi Arabia for a bag? That's why that dude, the clip that you showed me earlier, the Joe Budden podcast, you wouldn't happen to know the name of the dude in the blue shirt, would you?
I'm drawing a blank on it for some reason.
There's just one guy.
He's something Lamont Hill. I forget his first name.
Okay, so Dave sent me this clip earlier.
He's actually quite famous or popular in like the talk space. Like he's a speaker and stuff like that. Like he's actually like. He's not a nobody.
I'm not trying to disrespect him and say he's a fucking nobody.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I don't remember his name, but I'm saying for my sake, he's not a nobody.
Yeah.
So So just wanted to put that.
So it's on Joe Budden TV's the channel Joe Budden TV. It's his official YouTube channel. The title of the video is Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, other comedians called out for Saudi Arabia show, which is a great headline considering when you watch the video, it's really just one dude. who's really doing the calling out, and he's trying to make the point about the morality and the standards of it. He's like, there's no, because the people on the podcast were asking him how much would it take for you to go over there? Oh, nothing. There's nothing they can offer me to go over there and blah 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 blah. Fine, okay, more power to you. There's nothing they can do or say that will drag you to the quote unquote dark side. Okay, cool. Got no issue with that. But he then goes on forward to say, well, how come they don't question it? Because fuck you. That's why. They don't have to fucking question it. What kind of fucking stupid question? I question it. How come they don't question it? Because they're not in the position that you're in. They can get the bag.
I think his if I remember correctly, the words he said specifically was like, that's kind of like where he stands, and he talks about it to. I think it's more like raise awareness to the question, so that people. Listen. I have the same sentiment you said. I'm just trying to give credit to what he said, and I believe he said along the lines where he speaks up not to question their morale, but so much bring up the information so that maybe they hear it and then think about it and maybe change their mind because maybe they didn't know. But at the end of the day, I don't know, dude. It's one of those. It's probably one of the scarier things where it's like you want to have morals and hope they mean something, but in the grand scheme of things, you don't. So there are some people who stand on their morals and hope to create some change, and I believe some change can come of things, but when it comes to that level of momentum and money that can just be thrown at people and I don't just mean people, I mean your greatest, the best that's ever done it, the best that has ever done it, and your own country, where if you were to offer them a big bag, it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be nearly as much, but they wouldn't do it either. Even if you gave them the biggest bag you could afford, they'd probably be like, I don't know if I really want to do it. So that's what tells me, and I believe that, but that's what tells me that the amount of money that they're getting is so big. You'd almost be an idiot to turn it down. That amount of money is bigger than you. It's bigger than your morals. It's bigger than whatever. And if you're a doomsayer and go, well, what's the point? We're all going to die soon anyway, then that's fair. But if you're someone who even slightly believes that there is a future, who the fuck are you to turn down unlimited money for your family for the rest of your fucking lives?
Generational wealth.
Generations. Like your kids can't fucking stack up enough bread to make up the money that they're giving you for the amount of work. These guys are making multi-million-dollar an hour while you're making 15. Like, what are we talking about here? The morals just doesn't make sense. I think these people sit, they weigh this shit, they go, look, does this suck? They know what's going on. They know the hate they're gonna get. They're gonna go, you know what? Is me turning down this bag enough for me to feel shame for the rest of my life? Let's say they feel shame. Yeah, wouldn't you do whatever it takes for your family? Like, even at a low level, you would do whatever the fuck it takes to do what you got to do for your family. I'm sorry. If someone offers me multi-million-dollars to do a talk for an hour, yeah, I mean, I can't turn that down, dude. You can't. It's just because people are upset and they don't want you to do it. That's just crazy talk.
There was the one dude on the podcast was mentioning if those comedians that he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia if they do shows here in the States. And he was trying to, well, it's not really the same thing because, it's a governmental thing and blah, blah, blah. No, it's exactly the same fucking thing. Because if you really, truly want to be honest about it, if you live in this country and you don't believe that our government has done some of the most disgusting shit ever of all time, you don't know what you're talking about. If that's the case, then we can't go to Brazil. We can't go to England. We can't go to Spain. We can't. There's a lot of countries we got to start knocking off when it comes to morality and standards. Okay, there's blood on everybody's fucking. This world was built on blood across the fucking board. Okay, for all those, there's going to be a bunch of people who will tell me that we shouldn't go over there because of their environment, because of how they treat people, and if we go over there, it's in support of the bullshit that they go through, and that when they offer us money to do stuff like that, that's blood money. That money was built off of the deaths and the blood of all those people, those innocents that they killed. Okay, so let me ask you this then. Here in the States, any white family in the South who has generational wealth built off of the backs of plantations and slavery, do you say no to that money? Because that's blood money, is it not? Is that not blood money? Is that not directly as a result of the deaths of innocent people that created your family fortune? Do you sit here and say, nope, I disavow it? It was based off of some bullshit. I don't want no piece of that, because that's what I hear from people. When I hear from certain groups, when they say they're tired of hearing about the racism, they're tired of hearing all this, those were my ancestors. I had nothing to do with that. You can't blame me. Fair, but the check cashed, right? Money's still in the account, right? The houses that housed those slaves still exist today. One of them just burned down the other day to the roar of applause. Because the slave houses now are museums now. Now we can come down there and see the pretty pictures of how all the people were kept into rooms like animal and sheep. But that's cool. The railroad system in this country, built off of the bodies and the blood of Asians and other foreign people immigrants who came into this country, we disavow that, but we keep the money that comes from that, though. Is that not blood money? We could play this game all day. You're being selective. And the reason you're being selective is because every country did what Saudi Arabia does. You want to get mad at Saudi Arabia for doing beheadings? How come you're not mad at American history for the lynchings? We just had a lynching the other day. It just happened. There was a lynching that took place. Nothing. But you want to get mad at them. You know why you're mad at Saudi Arabia? Because Saudi Arabia stands 10 toes down. They never changed their rituals. It's the same. All the other countries either changed their rituals or started hiding it better. because it's not PC to be seen like that anymore. Saudi Arabia just does what it does, baby. And Saudi Arabia stays Saudi Arabia. They're not, fuck the world. They're not worried about everybody else's opinion. We're going to treat our women the way we're going to treat them. We're going to treat thieves and criminals the way we're going to treat them. We're going to treat foreigners who come into our country the way we're going to treat them, and that's it. And people hate that. But is it hate because you feel that's wrong, or is it hate because you pissed off you can't do it anymore yourself? Because that's what you were doing. Blacks couldn't enter rooms with whites. Irish and Italian Americans who came into this country couldn't get into the classism despite being white themselves. Asians became dishwashers, and women couldn't work in the workforce. All that stuff happened here, and it happened during time periods. I just saw this the other day, that people thought it was hilarious that still today in 2025 that people believe that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X lived in an era where there was no color pictures and no color TVs. All of the pictures and all the footage is in black and white, so that they can give you this impression like it was 100 years ago. It wasn't. It was the fucking 60s. Just fucking happened. So everyone every day changes the narrative on fucking everything. There was never a time when this country has ever been united ever. Making America great again. It's never been a time where we're all the same goddamn thing. And the one that everyone always brings up is 9/11. You know what happened in 9/11? People were taking Arab people into the streets and beating them to death. That's not unity. Again, it's fucking selective. Everyone is fucking selective. They hate what they choose to hate. They love what they choose to love. And if you're not on the same page, fuck you. Well, my response is easy. Fuck you back. I want the bag. I want to put my family in the position that you put your family in when you made your decisions. You can't tell me to sit on my morals and standards while you sit on the money bags that your grandparents and great-grandparents got for you when they weren't watching their morals and standards. Now the shoe is on the other foot. The brown people have the money now. And that's a problem. Because so far, the Saudi Arabian government, as far as their entertainment idea, isn't that far off from what everybody else tries to do. Their pockets are just deeper than yours. And you hate them for it. That's the issue. It's nothing to do with their civil rights and what they do in that country. They've been doing that shit for fucking centuries. Wasn't an issue back then. It's an issue now. Because they've accumulated the wealth. Our ability to go into places like Iran, Iraq, and all these different places in the Middle East that have the oil that we've been tapping into like some sort of a Nutella bottle and just pulling out whenever we fucking want it, those days are over now. And we can't stop bitching about it. We got the Saudi Arabian government doing their thing, people bitch. And the kaleidoscope goes all the way down to the Bad Bunny. Everybody bitching about Bad Bunny. Everyone bitches about this. Everyone bitches about that. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has an opinion. And it's all bullshit. As soon as October 9th hits and this comedy festival is over, all those comedians are going to go home financially secure. And everybody who bitched about it will have nothing left to say. So they're going to go quiet. Mark Maron will go back into his hole of low self-esteem and self-depravity when this whole thing is over. And he'll be poorer for it. As opposed to just shutting the fuck up and going out there and getting his bag and doing his thing. He'd rather just sit back and shit on other people's fucking decisions. I don't have time for it. I don't think anybody should have fucking time for it. So, that's it. I don't give a shit what happens in Saudi Arabia. I'm watching WrestleMania on fucking ESPN. I watched the Canelo Crawford fight already. I'm still going to fucking buy video games coming from EA Sports. And if I can get a chance on YouTube somewhere, I'm going to find those fucking stand-ups because I want to hear what Dave Chappelle had to say about being in Saudi Arabia. I know that shit's going to be fire. And Bill Burr, for God's sakes. I need to see these people perform over there. And then that'll be it. And then everybody will go about their fucking day. And that'll be it. There'll be nothing else going on. So anyway, Tuesday, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'll mention it again here. This Tuesday, October 7th, we're doing 8th anniversary show. I got to get into the habit of plugging in. Last week when you weren't on the show, I started plugging like crazy. I'm like, yeah, let's plug all of our shit. And then you're back this week. I didn't plug anything at all. So so I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll do it now. So we have obviously the YouTube channel was kicking up. Please continue to check that out. It's at AJ Orsini 96. No, it's not. Excuse me. I changed it. Excuse me. It's OUM Network. That's what it is on YouTube. Obviously, all the social media is there. And, of course, the T-shirts and everything, the merch, still available. Support the show, ajoum.com. We're going to be live next week. It's going to be the 8th anniversary show. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm not entirely sure who's going to be on it just yet, but we're going to be good to go. And it's going to be a lot of conversation. So, hopefully, something big will happen between now and so we have one major topic to wrap around. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And, of course, thank you guys for enjoying episode 324. Get ready for episode 325 next week. We'll see ya.
Like drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.